Yo, what up, everybody? So, as you can see, today's a little bit of a audible of an episode. I know you only see me on your screen right now, but if you look closely, you'll see our guy Kurt. Oh shit!
Hello.
I made you fall, bro.
Damn, come on, dude.
Damn.
Already trying to take me out.
This episode is
Pretty
a wreck.
pissed about losing week 1. You're trying to take me out.
Fuck off. So yeah, today's a little bit different of an episode. He's got the C19. I don't want to, dude. I don't think we can say it fully because we might get flagged. Or did they stop flagging people for having? I forget.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So he's got.
Just say I have leprosy instead.
Yeah. So this guy, he's got an STD. So.
A bad case of leprosy.
Yeah, we're just staying clear of him until he's cleared.
Yes, sir.
But no, all jokes aside, we gotta. I mean, we had to keep it rolling, so we're throwing this dude on the computer. He's still here in spirit, though.
Still live on location.
He's here technologically.
Yes, sir.
And
never stops, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, 30 years ago this couldn't happen. So.
No.
Just look how blessed we are with our technology and whatnot.
30 years ago, it definitely couldn't happen because we wouldn't be alive.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so today, I mean, it might be a little bit quicker of an episode just because it's a little bit weird of a setup and all that. We're in my apartment, if anybody's wondering. I got these nice pillows, this nice throw blanket. Shout out to my wife on her taste and all that. But,
You plugged your wife in there. You got her in there.
Yeah, there we go.
You made sure you wanted to get proof in there.
Yeah, I had to get proof that
some
that I'm married.
That we've seen online.
Clear up some roasts in the comments that we've had on TikTok.
Because, dude, if not, especially
but hey,
your apartment set up, if you didn't have a wife.
Yo, facts. But hey, it could be my, what do they call it? A beard.
Oh, a bear. A bear?
No, I think, like, they call, like, a woman that is being used to hide from all that. I think the woman is referred to as a beard. I don't know. Let's move on from that, though. So today's episode is going to be, much more geared towards our league and what we're doing this for in the first place. So if you guys are in our league, make sure you stick around. You're going to have a lot of information about the league and how we feel about it so far. And not as much going on in the NFL. I mean, we'll brush on stuff, but this is going to be focused on our league. So we're going to start with week 1's matchups. So the first matchup here, Jonathan, the guy in the 1s and 2s right next to me here. Pulling everything up for us. He's our Jamie.
Yes, sir.
Our, I don't know other names.
Jamie.
But so he played against my dad's team he played against my cousin's team.
Tough matchup.
Yeah, tough matchup. It was our preseason first ranked team against our preseason. I had him ranked second to last. You had him ranked 6th. And so he had a tough matchup. It was my cousin ended up being the second highest scorer of the week, and Jonathan ended up being the lowest scorer of the week. And Jonathan lost 153.16 to 93.78. And Jonathan, I do want to highlight to you that my bench almost outscored your team. Yeah. No offense. Yeah. My bench is nasty though, so it's okay.
That's how it goes some weeks. That's fantasy.
Yeah. So to highlight some players, Diggs was your highest scoring player. He had 26.20. Your lowest score player. You were part of the group of fantasy people that were very pissed on Thursday Night Football when Cam Akers only saw the ball 3 times and he went nowhere with it. And then Tom Brady as well was very lackluster in a dominant win with 12 points only for fantasy. And then the rest of your team, I mean, everyone in our league knows what your team is. I don't think we have to highlight it for the rest of the viewers too much. This was an abomination. My cousin's team, he has Justin Herbert, Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Swift, just to highlight a couple players that really went off. Those three combined for, what is that? So that's 60. Combined for about 88 points. Just three players. So those three players almost outscored your entire team on the week.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah. This was the biggest blowout of the week, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
About a 60-point blowout. It was like 59 and change. Kurt, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was just tough. Honestly, once the Cam Akers thing started, that was just that's tough. But Ian's team is it's a juggernaut, and especially I have him as one of my top teams. I think I can pencil him in for the year. So any matchup against him is going to be tough.
Yep.
Any week this year is going to be tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that first game, that's always a tell for the week, and
Yeah.
Jonathan's two players between Diggs and Akers combined for 26.2, and then Ian just had Kupp rolling that game, and he had 31.8 on his own. So.
And like I said, rolling.
Yep.
Because all he does.
And then that
rolling.
didn't stop. Even Debo, he didn't have that great of a fantasy game with 12 points, but it really didn't matter because. And he has Zeke too, with only 5.9 points.
Yeah, that's.
One.
And you said Brady just. I don't know, man. Especially now with Mike Evans.
Oh yeah, is Mike Evans gonna play this week? Is that up in the air?
I don't know if he practiced today, so that's the thing to keep an
Ooh.
eye on.
Yeah. One player I do want to highlight for Ian's team was Christian Kirk, who had 17.7. I did not think Christian Kirk was going to be that dependable this year, but he's looking.
I was big on him.
He's looking like a good PPR receiver.
Yeah, I have him in other leagues, and I was pretty high on him. They gave him a big contract, and they're gonna use him. So.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you got to prove why you give a guy like that such a big contract.
Yeah.
Other things like Hebert did what he was expected to do. Waller did right around what he was expected to do. But let's move on. So, Jonathan, sorry you got crushed week 1. Hopefully, I hope week 2 is better for you.
Yeah, it might be.
Next matchup here was a little like this was our matchup of the week, as we called it, because it was the two of the highest projected teams in the league, which was my team against Sean's team. So I ended up losing 136 to 123 and change. So I'll get going first on my team here. My team, I feel like most of my team hit their floor this week, which I hope that doesn't happen every week. I'm still big on my team. I still think they're gonna be able to do good. Just week 1, a lot of them hit their floor. I had like Cam Sutton hit his floor. Kyler Murray did well, could do better. Austin Eckler definitely hit his floor. Kyle Pitts, super floor. Chase Edmonds hit his floor. And besides that, I had Michael Pittman Jr., who showed that he's going to be dominant in that Indianapolis offense. And I had Leonard Fournette, which I think he's my favorite player on my team currently. I love that guy. I think he's the biggest difference maker on the field for Tampa Bay with pass coverage and being able to run the ball outside. He looked dominant all around. Besides not having a touchdown, you add a touchdown in there for him, and that's huge numbers for him.
Oh, yeah.
On the other side here, this team looked really lopsided. Because you have Justin Jefferson, who had 41 points, but then you got CeeDee Lamb, who had 4.9. You got Mike Williams, who had 3 points. This team was super carried by Justin Jefferson, and we'll get into our rankings later on and kind of talk about all the teams, which I have a lot to say about this team. But I think, this team's gonna need Justin Jefferson to score 40 points a lot this year, in order to have games like this. I think I could have done much better. Like, I could have done better picking my team, which I'm gonna have a problem a lot with this year. I had Michael Thomas on the bench with 22 points. I had Kareem Hunt on the bench with 23 points. And if I made those changes, but week 1, I think in hindsight, you got to put Chase Edmonds in the flex there instead of Mike Thomas because I felt like Chase Edmonds' floor was safer. Or I actually told you this, Kurt. Remember?
Yeah, you did.
I said Chase Edmonds' floor is safer, but Mike Thomas's ceiling is double Chase Edmonds, and that's exactly what happened there. But I think hopefully moving up, I think my team is capable of multiple 150-plus point weeks. But hopefully that's if I don't hit my floor every week with a lot of these guys.
Oh yeah.
So do you have any thoughts on,
No, I think
others?
it was a pretty clean game. It's just Justin Jefferson is that X factor though. Like we were watching that game live and it was just those are what you get with those top wide receivers in football now. Where you look up and you're like, "Oh, this guy now has 35 points on just like 5 catches."
Yeah, watching
You see it with Chase, you see it with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, watching on Sunday, like watching Red Zone and stuff. Like you really see how like these top wide receivers and top players in the league, like they really are that much better. Like that many steps ahead of like your more average players in the league, and it's just those guys just dominate the field.
They are the elites of the elite.
Like the Pat McAfee show, they had a segment. They've done a segment like yesterday, where they have Darius Butler go over game film and kind of talk about what the DBs are doing and what they should do and all that. And he was going in a lot on how well Justin Jefferson was kind of playing defenses and faking defenses out. The bomb that Justin Jefferson caught and ran with at the beginning of the game, where he brought it like he almost had a touchdown on it, but actually I think he might have even scored on it, and he shouldn't have. But he did this thing where he ran a vertical route, but then started cutting across the field, and he pulled in like I think it was Adrian Amos, and he pulled him in, and Adrian Amos was following with him fine, but then Jefferson like kind of slowed down as if he was gonna like wait for a pass to come or something like that, and Amos bit on it hard, and then Jefferson just turned the fucking to gear 5 again and just ripped away from him and was wide open.
And they even showed the Davante Adams route too that I sent to you.
Yeah, that route was crazy.
Like these guys are just so good now. It's crazy, and now football is like generated towards these guys.
Yep, exactly. Let's keep it moving here. Get on
sir.
to the
Yes, sir. So we got Sean and you.
Yep. So this is our third matchup of the 5 matchups.
Yes, sir.
Right here we're looking at the what I call the how do we call this? I would call this the Mickey Mouse matchup of the week, where the winner didn't have to score too much to win.
Yeah.
This was Dan's team against Ethan's team, which was a close one. It was a nail biter, but it was definitely the Mickey Mouse matchup of the week. I mean, it went all the way to Monday Night Football, where I think Dan was expecting Russell Wilson to get him the 21 points that he needed to win, but he failed to, and he lost 120 to 119.
Yeah.
And I'll highlight some players here. I do want to say I'm gonna be doing most of the talking here for all the viewers, because Kurt can't really see the matchups.
Yeah, the week 1 stuff I can't really.
But later on in the episode, when we get to the other segments, he's gonna be able to
Don't worry, guys.
give much more input.
Yeah.
And he'll be back next week for
yes, sir.
For a live episode. But so to highlight some of the players in this matchup, Dan's team, Davante Adams obviously went off for him. Russell Wilson obviously did not look that good. That offense honestly looked lost all day, and Russell Wilson really pissed me off because I was playing against. I hate that. I hate Russell Wilson. I don't. If I met the guy, I might like him, but fantasy football wise, he has always fucked me over. Whether I've had him on my team, and I had him one year where he was like the first half of the season he was the clear cut MVP, and then the second half of the season he was dog poo, and completely lost me my league. And then this past week, I'm playing against Javonte Williams, and I have Cam Sutton, and Russell Wilson just cannot find anybody downfield like, a couple passes he got downfield, like the Judy deep touchdown. But other than that, he's just checking down to Javonte Williams all game. He had like 12 targets, just pissing me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Javonte Williams 8.
But Javonte Williams had 30. Marquise Brown had 14 for him. And then the rest of his team could not get over more than 11 points. To highlight, actually, this team is the most hurt team I've probably ever seen, especially in week 1 of fantasy, where he had Keenan Allen, Eli Mitchell, and Najee Harris, who all left the game with injuries. Keenan Allen obviously is a no-go tonight. On the other end, this team was carried by 2 players, Saquon Barkley and Josh Allen, who combined for a little over 70 points.
Saquon is back.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, he had Derrick Henry, who 8 points, Dawson Knox 1 point, Travis Etienne 8.5. Just not looking good, other than 2 players, really here. So the that's the Mickey Mouse matchup. We'll get more into these teams later and my thoughts on them. 120 to 119. Nail biter, but Mickey Mouse match.
Game.
All right, so this next matchup here is between my dad and Jonathan's dad.
Oof.
And this was another, very one-sided matchup. Although Jonathan's dad, he did lose, but he put up a good fight with 135 points. He was like the
fourth
highest scorer on the week.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, fifth.
Fifth highest scorer. He was the 5th highest scorer in the week. He just, ran into an absolute juggernaut of a team, which me and you both rated this team low preseason.
Yeah.
But they go on to put up 173 points week 1, most points of the week, with leading with Patrick Mahomes with 46.9 points. He's just an absolute dog. Joe Mixon, obviously, we all know he had a fine game. Antonio Gibson did much better than most people expected with 20 points. And then wrap it up with Jerry Jeudy at the end of the weekend, who caught that deep touchdown, added a couple more receptions, and just good yards all around with 20 points.
Incredible defense.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, and his freaking defense. He had Buffalo defense that had 22 points, which he drafted them in like the 8th or 9th round in our draft. And we all gave him shit for it, but it turned out to be worth it. And then on the other side here, we see this team was really spread out, which I think is good for your dad's team, Jonathan. Going into the rest of the season, where Lamar Jackson, 26 points, normal quarterback game there, but he had Tyreek Hill, who obviously looked like he's gonna see a lot of passes in Miami, get a lot of yardage. He had 18 points. You add a touchdown to that. Tyreek Hill's going to score this year. Amari Cooper, Jonathan Taylor being Jonathan Taylor with almost 30 points at 29.5. A.J. Dillon, who looked awesome and almost looked like he might end up being the running back 1 there. Kurt, you're going to have to look out, man.
Yep. Oh, I've been on the lookout. Trust me.
Mark Andrews, super modest game compared to what you expect from him.
Yep.
He saw the most targets on the team, but just didn't get a lot of yardage and didn't put up a touchdown. Claypool in the flex there, that kind of scares me, with only about 10 points. But Baltimore defense, I think he picked them up during the week, right? Saw that they were playing the Jets, or he drafted them?
Yeah, he drafted them.
They put up 16 for him. Good all-around game. He just ran into a brick wall of a team. We sucked for him. Kurt, anything on that, or do you want to just keep it moving so that we can get, into the deeper stuff and you'll be able to have more input?
Moving. You're touching on it all, brother.
Yeah, keep it moving. Yeah, let's
like
get
you
through
said,
these.
It was a juggernaut. 173 is tough to beat in any league, honestly. So.
Exactly. So this last matchup here was the father-son matchup of the week.
Yes, sir.
The guy on your computer screen here to my left, your right, I think. Or is it both our left on the screen? I don't know. I might look like an idiot now, because
nah, dude, it's alright.
it might be on the left of both, because right now when I look at the screen on the monitor of the camera, it's the left. So I might even bleep that out. Who knows? Yeah, I'll flip in post. Do a little horizontal flip.
Nah, keep it in.
But so this matchup, so right off the bat, Kurt won. You were the 3rd highest scorer of the week, Kurt? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Third highest score of the
Yeah,
week with
142.
142 against the second lowest score of the week with 114.
Yeah.
Your dad's team just this is a very good team all around. You know, they got Travis Kelce who put up 26 points. Travis Kelce could put up 18 points a game this season.
Yeah.
The biggest downfall here is Aaron Rodgers, who just put up 3.7. I mean,
Mhm.
Rodgers has a normal quarterback game, hits his projection, gets like
It-
24 points. He's competing with most of the teams in our league.
Yeah.
Another disappointment here. Let's see. No, nothing else too disappointing. I mean, DJ Moore, you'd expect a lot more out of him. McCaffrey actually was disappointing, 15
What did
points.
Moore end up with?
Moore only had 8,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
going to be a
Like,
problem with this team. We'll get into that. But
Yep.
Devin Singletary, running back 2, 8 points.
Mhm.
But let's get into your team here, Kurt, which is another team where I see a good spread in the points. I mean, Allen Robinson was a huge disappointment with
Yep.
2.2 points. He didn't see the ball much at all after being on the field for 90+% of the game. But we see Jalen Hurts put on a clinic. He could have even had way more points if he ran the ball himself instead of the
Oh yeah.
3 other running backs who all scored on that game. When we were watching it, it seemed like the Eagles were on the goal line the whole game.
Yeah. Every time we looked up, they were driving.
Yep. And then you pair that with your 2 wide receivers that were absolutely dominant between Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown, who put up almost 30 nuggets apiece. A.J. Brown obviously showing that he's going to be a crazy good wide receiver this year, which I expected, and I wanted to draft him. But
Yeah. I swooped in.
you got him. I mean, from my draft position, I wasn't expecting to get him anyways. But that's going to be a nice double dip for you all year.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Jones put up 17 points. I mean, I think Aaron Jones might be a little bit back and forth for you this year, but for the most part, Aaron Jones is going to be a good player for you. James Conner hit his projection with 16. Hawkinson was a little bit lackluster, and then you got Los Angeles Chargers defense who put on a very good showing with 3 interceptions, 6 sacks. All around, 142 points. Like I said, very, very well spread out team for you here.
Oh yeah.
Which you're gonna like this year, because last year you had a lot of inconsistencies in your players.
So much inconsistency.
Where you're having great weeks from some guys and then terrible weeks from other guys, and you got really unlucky last year.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I don't think this is the correct standings. This is just like the level standings.
I think
That's dope though. I'm number 1 in the league as far as the Yahoo fantasy level. But that's because I've been playing Yahoo Fantasy since fucking 2009.
I was looking through that the
All
other
right.
day.
So let's go through. So this next segment here, we're gonna
Week
give.
2.
Yeah, we're gonna do our power rankings. Our current power rankings now that week 1 is over, and the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna go down the leaderboard, and give our actual power ranking of the players. So Kurt, I'll walk you through this, and then I'll let you give your power ranking first, and give a little bit details as to why, and
Yes,
then
sir.
we'll keep it moving. So in first place currently is my father's team, who we already talked about, put up the huge 173-point game.
Mhm.
So where do you have this team, and why?
I have it number 1 right where it should be.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you want to give anything as what you
I
think's
don't
going to
know.
help this team throughout the season and whatnot?
I think there's gonna be a consistent top 4 from this league, and
Yeah.
him
Pull up
and
his
Ian
team for me
are,
quick.
I think, gonna be the most
Just pull up
consistent.
his team.
at the top.
Yeah, I agree with him and Ian being the most consistent teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, because I think Patrick Mahomes is obviously on a mission to
Yes.
to prove that he doesn't need Tyreek, which everybody thought was the reason why Patrick Mahomes is not going to look as good this year, or whoever thought that. I didn't think that.
No.
If he was available in round 5, I would have taken him. Or he might have been. I don't know. I might have skipped out on him. But I saw him going in round 5 a lot in leagues, and I was like, "There's no way you can let Patrick Mahomes go to round 5." But I mean, the only thing like his two running backs are awesome too with Dalvin Cook and Joe Mixon. He did really well with drafting that. The only
Yeah.
thing that scares me with this team is, he's got George Kittle, who is already gonna be, seems like he's gonna be questionable every week. But he's got Pat Fryermuth to back that up, which
Yes, sir.
is very
Consistency.
good. But this bench is deeper than I thought it was at the beginning of the year. With Amon Ra on his bench currently, which is crazy. He's got David Montgomery, who's gonna see plenty of work. And then you match that up with Kenneth Walker, who's going to be back soon and might take over the backfield over there. But yeah, overall this team is really good. I got him at number 2.
And you got Ian at 1.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing Ian next, so I'll go into why I have him at number 2 instead of Ian, which you might expect the number 1 overall team in the leaderboard to be number 1, but hey, these rankings are different, baby. This is the outlook on the whole season, not just what happened in week 1. Which brings us to our second place team and my cousin's team. Kurt, where do you got him? 2, I assume?
Yep, I got him 2.
Yep.
Just, again, those 2 guys, him and your dad, I think are going to be fighting for that top spot most of this year.
Yeah.
But I think they'll have some competition from some other people we'll get to. Especially just, like, read his team for me.
So it's Herbert, Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, DeAndre Swift, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Darren Waller, Christian Kirk, and then on the bench he's got Zeke, Chris Godwin, J.K. Dobbins, Trey Lance, Tyler Boyd, Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, especially the Herbert, like that. I think Herbert, him or Mahomes could lead the year in total fantasy points.
Yep.
So, those guys, and hey, that's a common theme with the 1 and 2. Your dad has Mahomes and your cousin has Herbert, so that's how it might go for this year.
Yep. And so I have him as my number 1, and the reason for that is I just think pound for pound, even though my dad's team put up 20 more points this week, I don't think that's going to happen week in and week out.
Yeah.
And I think that this team, especially with Cooper Kupp and Deebo, I just think week in and week out, this team is gonna average a little bit more points and have the edge on my dad's team. They're definitely, I mean, they're more like 1A and 1B currently in the league. But I think if you were to put the 2 teams against each other every week, I think my cousin's team would come out on top. But, I mean, both these teams are obviously going to make the playoffs. So, at that point, it kind of, comes to the point of, like, who's going to do what.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And how's the playoffs going to shape out? Because last year, our number 1 overall team that was super dominant lost in the first week of playoffs. So.
Yeah, and that's how it goes in fantasy all the time.
Yep. So, then third place is it you?
Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan, his computer got resetted, so.
That's fine. If you want, I'll read my rankings right here, and I know you know them off your list.
Yeah.
So kind of like
no, we can just keep going because he's about to pull it up.
All right.
But so you have you at 3.
Yeah, I got me at 3.
I have you at 3 as well. No, don't go through it all. Just give a little explanation.
I was just saying, like, who do you got at 3?
Oh, my bad. I thought you were about to give off your whole list.
Dude.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I have you at 3 as well.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm a big wide receiver guy.
Yep.
So what I saw from A.J. Brown and Jamar Chase encourages me, and then especially what we saw out of Gabe Davis.
Oh, yeah.
In that offense, that really encourages me.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll see with Aaron Jones. That is going to be hit or miss, I feel. And then Jalen Hurts, I think that will be... he scored 24 points. I think he's capable, 20 points at least.
Every week, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, he seems like one of the more consistent quarterbacks.
Be a sneaky, top 3 defense this year. And J.C. Jackson didn't even play last weekend. And he's playing tonight. We'll see how he does.
He's back? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I have you at 3 too. Pretty much the same explanation. I think there's potential. I don't know, man. It's between you and Ian with the best wide receiver duo.
Yeah.
Right now it's looking like yours might be more consistent, just because I don't know. I didn't see too much out of Trey Lance. I know it was like a monsoon in that game, so you can't say too much. But I think A.J. Brown's got the better quarterback throwing to him than Deebo Samuel does. And I also think that there's more weapons in San Fran than there is
Yeah.
in Philly.
Oh, yeah.
So I might give you that edge. And, like, once again, dude, like, I think these three teams are, like, clear cut above and beyond every other team. I think, like, if you were to put tiers on this league, like, it'd be, like, my dad's team and Ian's team in the S tier, and then you're in the A tier by yourself, and then, like, B tier next. Like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that
Like,
as
those
well.
three teams
That's kind of how I
are
look at it.
definitely the clear cut dogs right now. You can pretty much say playoffs automatically, and the rest of us are just fighting for those last 3 playoff spots.
So who you got? At
So
four, my boy?
let's move on here. Well, 4th place right now is Sean's team.
Yeah.
Jonathan, if you want to bring up this team real quick. I'll tell you right now, this team I'm gonna be way off of the leaderboard. You give your thing and why
Who I
first.
have at 4 or just
No,
Sean?
where do you have Sean in your rankings?
I have Sean 7th.
7th.
And kind of we talked earlier, and it's kind of about what we talked about earlier about some of his players. So I'll let you go on that.
Yeah, so I have him at 6th.
Yeah. So
And do you want to go in on the reason why, or do you want me to?
I mean, we both agree it's probably because he has 2 of his major players are on the Cowboys' offensive weapons,
Yeah.
and they just lost their quarterback.
Yeah,
So
and they
that's-
look like shit.
Especially CD Lamb, man, like that
Yeah.
sucks because
He got the
he's
ball
not-
thrown to him a lot too,
Yeah,
and he was dropping
and
a lot
he's
of
the
passes.
clear-cut number 1, and especially now with Zeke kind of just being like in purgatory, it feels like. You don't know if he's
Yeah.
going to be good. You don't know if he's just going to be bad. So that Dallas is a weird offense I'm just trying to stay away from, and he's got 2 of their starters
Yep,
as his.
and I'll say this. So, already you take 2 guys on his team that, probably aren't going to do as good as they were expected to this year. You got Mike Williams, who seems like he's going to be much more of a boomer bust this year.
Yeah.
And then you got Nick Chubb, who has touchdowns taken from him all the time because of Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
Nick Chubb's still gonna do his thing, but every week, who knows? He's got a very his floor is a little bit lower than most of like the premier backs in the league. Javonte Williams does look like he's gonna be a great PPR running back this year, but who knows? But what do we talk about with this team in our pre-rankings and
Exactly what happened week 1. It takes one injury just to absolutely wipe this
No, I
team
don't-
out.
Yeah, and because his bench is just so trash.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, just in
Um,
our opinion.
Not a good
But,
bench.
yeah.
I mean, you got 2 Jets players there on that bench, and like we said, this team is gonna have to be carried by Justin Jefferson, and he's capable of it. But I mean, 1 week in the playoffs, if Justin Jefferson only scores like 15, 20 points, which is
Yeah.
still high, but for this team, he's gonna need a lot more out of it. So
Oh, yeah.
you have him 7, and I have him 6. All right, so let's move on here to the next team in the rankings, and that is Ethan's team, who won the Mickey Mouse matchup of the week in 5th place currently in our standings. Where do you have this team in your rankings?
I have him at 5th because
Okay.
I think before the Saquon thing, I was really scared of his team, but now the Saquon piece of it gives me encouragement.
Yeah.
Because if Derrick Henry just, gives you a solid 16, 17 a week,
Yep.
that's going to be pretty tough to beat, especially with those 2 guys. Even if Saquon's just giving you the same thing.
Yeah.
And who's his quarterback again? Is it
Josh Allen.
Yeah, so between those 3 guys, if if your running backs are giving you like 30, 35 a game between those two guys, and then Allen's probably giving you 30,
Yeah.
that's three guys you're getting half your points from. And
Yeah.
But like you said, to Sean's team, it takes one of those guys to get injured, which we all know Derrick Henry and Saquon have those injury
Past
problems.
injuries yet.
Yep, so it's like, I like his team, but like you said, Derrick Henry could miss time, and then this team just drops down to that 6-7 spot.
Yep. And speaking of that, that's where I have him. I have him at 7, but I was going to say that him and Sean's team, I could flip-flop very easily in my power rankings and, put Ethan at 6 and Sean at 7 or vice versa. And the reason why I'm a little bit lower on this team is because I think this team, you'll see consistently scoring this 120 points, and he's going to have to sneak by like he did this week.
Yeah.
It was good for this team to see Saquon do so well, but then Derrick Henry, just 8 points against the Giants.
Yeah.
That's not that helpful. Derrick Henry's going to bring it most of the time. Josh Allen is going to give you a lot of points. But just like, and I've already talked about how his wide receivers are not very great with T. Higgins and Juju Smith. And then the tight end
perform on his bench, but
the tight end position is really bad for this team. So I think, you mix that in, it's just going to be a lot of not super high scoring weeks unless the triple team of Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley put up like 90 points together.
Yeah.
He took a big shot with Travis Etienne. I know he liked him a lot this year, and at right now after week 1, it's looking like James Robinson's the better running back in that offense.
Yeah.
But as far as the bench, Patterson and Josh Jacobs look decent. Patterson looked really good. Josh Jacobs looked better than what people are expecting out of him. But other than that, his bench isn't looking that great. And, I see this team running into a lot of problems with Dawson Knox putting up 1-point games often. And just wide receiver scores of 20, 25 points combined weekly. So this team, I think for this team to find success, they're going to need that 3-piece tandem to really go off, which we already talked about, in our preseason rankings.
Yeah.
Where we said this team is going to depend on those 2 running backs.
Yeah, him and Sean have very similar teams. That's why, I have Ethan at 5 and Sean at 7, and they can, like I said, they could flip-flop at any time.
Yep.
Or they might be around each other the whole year this year.
All right, let's move on to our next team here. Currently in 5th place, we've got, or 6th place, sorry. We've got Jonathan's dad's team, the Basement Boys. Is he going to change the name or is he keeping it?
I think he's going to change it.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Has he figured that out?
He has a couple things that he's run by me.
Okay. All right, Kurt, so where do you have this team at?
I have him right at 6.
6?
I got him right at 6.
All right. And thoughts behind it?
I like Jonathan Taylor a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to keep doing his thing and just refresh my mind of his team.
All right, so we got Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper, Jonathan Taylor, A.J. Dillon, Mark Andrews, Chase Claypool, and then on the bench he's got Ramondre Stevenson, DK Metcalf, James Cook, Evan Engram, Kirk Cousins, Sammy Watkins, and Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, I think I just like especially the Tyreek part of it. He's really going to feast in that Miami offense now. And then, who was his quarterback again? Sorry.
Lamar.
Lamar, yeah. And Lamar, I think, is going to do Lamar things. That's a big matchup I'm facing this week. So,
you're playing him.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how his team goes, especially the Jonathan Taylor piece, dude.
Does he have anybody rolling tonight? No, he doesn't.
I don't think so, but just the Jonathan Taylor piece, he can give you 20 every single time out, so that's always going to put you in a good spot.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more well-rounded teams in the league, where I think you're going to see They're I don't think he'll put up crazy points often. He might have a week here or there, but he's always I don't think you'll never see his team put up like a really bad dud of a week.
No, exactly. That's
Yeah.
my kind of thing with it. Between Lamar, between Mark Andrews, between Jonathan Taylor, like those are consistency, high usage.
Very
guys.
consistent backs. They seem to be very durable backs too.
Yes.
The only thing that scares me is like Amari Cooper, and Chase Claypool looked better for the Steelers than expected.
He's
catching some crazy passes. But then you got DK Metcalf in there, which Geno Smith looked comfortable on Monday night, and he used DK Metcalf a lot. So you can just plug Metcalf in there, and you're for Cooper or Chase Claypool, and you're looking all right. The only thing that's going to hurt this team is a possible injury, but like we said, they pretty durable team as far as past injuries and stuff. I think having Mark Andrews on this team really puts it over the top of like having a super well-rounded team.
Yeah.
You get that double dip with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I did I say where I have him? I have him at 6. If I didn't already say it.
So we both got him at 6. All right.
No, I think you said you have him at 5.
No, I got him at 6.
Oh wait, no, I have him at 5. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Tell me what I know.
So I have him at 5.
Word. So 5 and 6.
Yep. So let's move on to we got my team up next here. Let me go first here since it's my team.
Yeah.
So what I have to say about my team. So a lot of people are gonna think I'm biased with my ranking, but in my opinion, I don't think I'm being biased at all. Because like I said, pretty much my whole entire team outside of 2 players hit their floors this week, and I don't think that's gonna happen every week. I had 1 total touchdown among my team outside of the quarterback position and Michael Pittman. The rest of my team did not score touchdowns. I don't think that is going to happen every week. And my biggest thing I'll say it right now. I have my team ranked number 4 in the league right now. I'm in 7th place. But I think that's false. I mean, if I got into that Mickey Mouse matchup with, if I played 3, I think 4. If I played any of the 4 other teams that were the lowest scoring teams in the league, I would have squeezed by this week. But my biggest thing is, I brushed on it a little bit earlier, is my bench, where you have Mike Thomas, who put up 22. Kareem Hunt put up 23. Who else? I've got DeAndre Hopkins waiting to return from suspension. Darrell Henderson, who I drafted in the 12th round, is now expected to be an RB1 and see RB1 snaps on this team. So my bench is crazy. I think I'm gonna have trade bait at some point this year. Whether I make trades or not, I don't think it's gonna matter. My biggest issue, honestly, with my team is gonna be deciding who to play every week.
Yeah.
I easily have the deepest team in the league, and I think as long as this whole floor scenario doesn't happen week in and week out, I'm gonna be fine. And I've told you already that I feel like I'll be able to make the playoffs and possibly even make a playoff run as long as I can get out of these first 6 weeks of DeAndre Hopkins' suspension at 3-3. That's where I set the bar at. But to go off from that, I have one of the hardest schedules in the league for the first 4 weeks of the year, which is week 1 I played Sean's team, which was looking like a top 2 team in the league. Now it's not, but for the first week, he put up plenty of points and showed that it was one of the top teams, and I had to face 40-point Jefferson, which probably is not going to continue for that team like we talked about, but I got him on his good week. And then I play Ethan's team this week, which I'm not as scared of as the other teams I'm about to go over, but this is like a scary matchup because it's like it's almost like a must-win for me.
Yeah.
Because if I start 0-2, it's looking bad because the 2 following weeks I'm playing our first and second ranked teams with Ian's team and my dad's team, which I could easily start 0-4, which would not look good. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm praying it doesn't happen, but for what my team looks like this year, I should not start over 4, and I should be able to make the playoffs because I really do believe that right now I have the 4th best team.
Yeah.
Looking at like taking the whole team as a whole and all
Yes,
that.
sir.
So I'll let you go on that now.
I got you right at 4 for all about the same reasons,
Let's
brother.
go, baby. It's my guy.
Yes, sir. I like the team. I do like Pittman a lot. For some reason, I was low on him, just unproven to me, and then he popped big. But especially with Kyler, I think he'll pick it up, and I'll think once he gets DeAndre Hopkins back, and dude, the biggest thing is the Michael Thomas piece because now, like you said, like you have options, and I think
and trade bait.
Options, trade bait. I think Jameis Winston he's always gonna sling the fucking ball.
Yeah.
So and Michael Thomas came back and proved him and Saquon both proved that it's like, all right, we're back now.
Yeah.
Which
we're still here and all that.
Which those two guys are gonna be going against. So yeah, we both have you at 4, my boy.
Let's go, baby. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
So our next team, who is currently in 8th place, is Dan's team.
Yeah.
You wanna give your ranking here, and how you feel about this team?
I got him at 9, and I think we both feel this way. I just don't like his team.
Yeah. This outside of Devontae Adams, this team is just poo.
Yeah, there's really not much to talk about. I think Dan, you'll probably get the least airtime team-wise among these rankings each and every week. Well, and it does suck. Like Keenan Allen gets hurt week 1.
Yeah.
Especially Devontae Adams and Keenan Allen.
And then week 2 he's on Thursday night, so obviously they're not going to play him.
Exactly, and that's a pretty good wide receiver combo, and it takes one injury though.
Yeah.
And the supporting cast after that isn't that great and doesn't give me a lot of confidence. So
yeah,
I have him at 9.
All right, so I have him at 10.
Yeah.
I think this is the worst team in our league. For the viewers, I'll run through the team really quick so you guys can laugh along with us. We got Russell Wilson, Devontae Adams, Marquise Brown, Najee Harris, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, Jeff Wilson Jr., and then on the bench we got Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, Breece Hall, George Pickens, Matt Ryan, Jacoby Myers, Curtis Samuel, and then in the IR slot he's got Eli Mitchell. Off rip, it's like you got Miles Sanders and Dallas Goedert, who are going to be fighting for points all season for you. I know the injuries kind of sucks for him, but Najee's already going back at it. But as we saw this past Sunday, Najee doesn't get any holes. So it's not looking good fantasy-wise for Najee this year. He's my favorite player in the Steelers, but not looking too good for him fantasy-wise. He's still a very talented guy, but... And then this bench his bench is poop. He showed me his teams in his other league, and I'm like, dude, what are you thinking when you're drafting in rounds 10 through 15 or 16? Like on one of his other teams, I think I already told you, but I'll say it for the viewers. On one of his other teams, this guy drafted his bench 2 Jets players, 3 Patriots players. I was like, dude, you have one of the worst benches I've ever seen in fantasy football history. Like, what is going through your mind?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so you have him 9, I have him 10. This team is...
Yeah, just not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Overall, not
Let's
good.
just get this team off my fucking TV screen. I got too nice of a TV to have this team on there. Let's move on.
I'm losing energy just talking about it.
So sitting at 9th place now, and your matchup from last week is your Pops team.
Yep, I got him at 8.
You got him at 8?
I got him at 8 because the McCaffrey piece, I still like of it. He has good pieces. He just needs to figure out when and where to place them.
Yeah.
And I also think the Rodgers thing, that obviously he's not gonna have 3 points.
Yeah,
every
this
week.
past week was an anomaly for Rodgers.
Yeah, so once Rodgers just has 20 points a week, I think he'll be fine, and
Yeah.
he'll be that from like 8 to 5 range.
Yeah.
I think.
So, I also have him at 8, just like you.
Yep.
And I think this team is one of the more volatile teams, I would say, of this season, where I could see him making his way down to last in our power rankings some weeks, but then I could also see him being as high as like 5th, 4th in the power rankings, just because, I mean, he's got a good supporting cast, and like you said, with Rodgers, with gonna be scoring much more. The only thing I don't like with this team is the battle of DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey for points every week.
Yeah.
And the running back 2 slot, he's got James Robinson on the bench, which could potentially end up being a valuable running back 2 in fantasy.
Yeah.
He showed this past weekend that he showed some signs of it. And then Christian McCaffrey, we got to get more out of him, man.
Yeah. Oh,
then I know 15 is good, but you got to get more. The thing I like a lot about this team is he's got Travis Kelce, and then he's got good wide receivers. It's just that he's got a wide receiver that's on the same team as one of his running backs.
Yep.
But then he's got Alan Lazard, which could easily be replaced in that DJ Moore slot when he returns, because you already know that Aaron Rodgers, he was like, fuck, Alan, I really missed you this weekend.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But I mean, outside of that, he's got really good handcuffs here too at the running back spot. Like if Jonathan Taylor gets an injury, Nyheim Hines is a great backup running back in Indy. Same thing with if David Montgomery goes down, Khalil Herbert is a great, especially PPR running back.
Davey Handcuffs.
Yeah, really? Yeah.
Davey Handcuffs.
The only thing, like, Dameon Pierce was a shot and a miss for a lot of fantasy owners this year. But who knows? Maybe he will still emerge. He's a rookie, so he might need to get his legs under him. But Mike Evans stays healthy. He'll be good.
Yep.
Yeah, my biggest worry is that battle at the wide receiver, running back there on the same team, and then that running back too. But if that gets figured out, like I said, like, volatile team, this team could easily be top 5 in the league.
Oh yeah.
Especially with Jalen Waddle and that flex, man. That's very, very nice thing to see.
Oh yeah. And then so we both got him at 8. So we got.
Yep, we both got him at 8. So let's move on to our
last but
team,
not least.
Final team. I'd honestly say last but possibly least. No, I'm just fucking with you. I'm fucking with you, Jonathan. So in last place currently, our last year's last place team. You better not repeat that shit, man.
I hope not.
I honestly think Dan might be that guy this year.
Yeah.
So we got Jonathan's team here. Kurt, where do you have him?
Sorry, brother. I got you at 10.
That's okay. This week it was a 10.
He said
That's
this week
okay.
it was definitely a 10. Do you want to go a little bit deep in it, or you don't really have to too much?
Yeah, I mean, just
for the viewers, because, well, actually, never mind, because I'm going to put up every team as we talk about them.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dan. It's just there's, in certain spots, there's just not a lot of consistency.
Yeah, a lot of holes.
Yeah, and that's just, it's tough. There's certain draft spots where you gotta hit, and if you don't,
Yep.
that, like, you see it, you're like, oh, damn. Like, this is where I could have
I
picked
feel you.
this guy, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it can. That literally can happen to anybody. Same thing with, like, we thought my dad's team sucked when he drafted it, and it's the top team in our league right now.
Yeah. So,
Those later picks can hit for anybody. Even the early picks. Even the fucking early picks, man.
Yep.
So
you have him at...
So I have him at 9.
9.
I do think Dan's team, like, on the outlook for the rest of the year, I know you're last place and scored the least amount of points, but I think if I line your team up against Dan's team week by week, I think you got the edge. I think Brady's going to put up a lot more than 12 points plenty of times this year. Diggs, you're going to be fine with that.
I've got some people.
Kamara's going to do way better, hopefully. And then you need Akers to emerge, or you need one of these bench guys. Like Rashad Penny, he's going to be dependable, possibly. He's a big question mark. But, like, Robert Woods didn't hit on it. Obviously, he was supposed to be Tennessee's wide receiver 1. Not looking like it. Zach Ertz, I think, is going to turn out fine for you. And even Big O, dude, he looked good at some points in that game.
Saying that though,
You got
14,000 people dropped him today.
really? Nah, yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Probably more than that. But.
Yeah, that's just like they call them like week 1 overreactions and shit like that where like a lot of people are betting on Seattle going into this week. They're putting in bets on Seattle just because they beat the Broncos. It's just, those overreactions. I think Damian Harris might be able to emerge. Ty Montgomery just went on IR, by the way. So Damian Harris or Ramondre are going to get plenty of more work in that backfield. Jamal Williams is a great handcuff to have on that Lions team. And then same thing with like Valdez-Scantling. A lot of people thought he could emerge as a good wide receiver on Kansas City, but it's not looking likely. Although Patrick Mahomes did say every week they're going to have a new fantasy stud, so who knows? But yeah, like there's plenty of holes in this team. Brandon Cooks is going to be fine for you. Like your wide receiver core right there, those 2 wide receivers are going to work out. Hunter Renfrow is looking kind of like he's not going to see as much passing work. Possibly if teams figure out how to cover Devontae better, Hunter Renfrow is going to get open a lot. Or like I wouldn't say cover him better because there's no way to cover him better, but like if teams get overly worried about Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow is going to find himself free because he's a great route runner. Just that running back 2 spot, you're going to need to, build up more.
I don't have a lot.
And then the tight end spot, you're going to need up more. But, dude, honestly, looking at your team and thinking about, like, a team like Ethan's and looking back at Ethan's team, I can really see, like I would kind of put your teams neck and neck. I think Ethan has a little bit of an edge on your team and, has potential to have a bigger year than your team. But I think, like, your 2 teams are kind of similar where you got, like, studs, but then it's, like, the rest of the guys are potential to put up, like, 3 points on a lot of weeks. Just like with, like, Ethan's tight end position. And I just think that Ethan has a little bit less guys that have low floors. And then your team just has a couple more guys that have a really low floor.
But at the same time, I think as the season goes on and people start to wear and tear, get injured and whatnot.
Yeah, you guys will definitely be able to emerge and stuff.
But I need to get rid of some people.
Your top 4 right there are very good. Well, they'll definitely combine for you for some wins on the season.
And this is week 1 lineup, I think. Week 2, going into week 2.
Yeah, you'll be.
All gonna be different.
Yeah, anything can happen. It's just week 1, like I said. So then, yeah, let's read over our power rankings one more time real quick.
Yeah.
Curry, if you want to go first.
So I got Jeff at 1. I had Ian at 2. I had me at 3. You at 4. Ethan at 5. Ray 6. Sean 7. My dad. Dave at 8. 9 Dan, and then 10 Jonathan.
All right, and then I got my cousin Ian, number 1. My father Jeffrey, number 2.
Yeah.
You at number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Me at number 4.
Yep.
Jonathan, your dad, number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Sean's team at number 6. Ethan's team at number 7.
Yeah.
Like I said, could easily be flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Kurt, your dad's team at number 8.
Yeah.
Jonathan, your team at 9. And then Dan's team at number 10.
Yeah, that's about right.
All right, so those are our power rankings.
You want to do
let's
do the matchups
quick? Let's wrap this up with matchup predictions.
All right, you want to run through them?
Damn, we already hit an hour, and we really said that we were gonna do like a half hour. We always do it.
Always.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
So let's just go from top down on this that I have in front of me here. So we're gonna start with Jonathan's team against. Well, first off, to start this, I want to say I don't know if you guys noticed, but every single matchup this week it's a 1-0 team against an 0-1 team.
Hell yeah.
So we can leave this week either with everybody 1-1, everybody 2-0 and 0-1 or 0-2, or just a mix. Which I think it's probably gonna end up being a mix up. Hopefully I'm at that 1-1.
But yeah, we got some good
But
matchups.
yeah, let's start with the matchup of your team against my father's team. The current projection is 137 to 120 in favor of my dad's team. Kurt, what's your projection on this?
I have Jeff
You have
winning
Jeff?
that.
I have him as well. Jonathan, do you want to get in on this year?
I had them for last week written down, but
Oh, you had yours
yeah,
written
I had
down?
mine
Okay,
last week.
yeah.
They're in a note somewhere.
Do you have yours written down right now, or
No.
do you want to just write them down while we go through them?
them?
And you can text them to me. Who do you have though? Are you taking yourself, or are you taking my dad?
I don't know.
You're going up against a
Because I-
juggernaut, dude. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tough week 1 and 2, man. That sucks.
For this, I'm gonna say your dad, but I do have.
Because you don't want to have to wear a dress.
I don't want to have to wear a dress, but I do.
We might
have
change
some
that
confidence
punishment,
in my
but
team.
the current punishment, which actually, dude, you got to send me your list from last week too, so we get this right, because, like, currently based on last week matchup predictions, Kurt is up on me. He's got a 4-1 record from last week. I got a 2-3 record.
I'll send it to you, but this is
Yeah, so send me that one, and then just type in yours right now. And who do you have? Oh,
So
you took my dad.
what I'll
Jeff
do is,
winning.
Yeah, send that to me.
It
And then
has
just,
the time, so I didn't.
oh,
go
like
in and
switch them.
change
All right, good,
everything, so-
good shit. Yeah, I said that to Kurt because the other day I was like, it was after the Thursday games, and I was like, don't fucking change your predictions either. After seeing those games.
What's up, everybody? Once again, hope you're enjoying this episode. This episode is brought to you by Gaxar Rye, located in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. For the perfect German authentic experience, it's a place to be and it's a place to go. They have a ton of events coming up. Check them out. They have an Oktoberfest coming up, which is awesome. Don't miss it. Now let's get back to this episode.
Once again, thank you to the sponsor of this episode. The camera died, so that's why we had to
We back.
shoot to a commercial break. But we are back and rolling.
So, matchup of the week.
Yeah, so
potentially?
this is our potential matchup of the week. We'll do that at the end of matchup predictions every week. We'll do like a vote on the matchup of the week.
Oh, yeah.
But this, I feel like, even though it's week 2, this is like a big swing game, like going into the rest of the season, because it's me against Ethan. It's the projection is 140 to 135 in my favor. Just look at my projection, man. That's why I'm a top 4 team, dog. But yeah, because like I start off 0-2, and then I have the 2 top dogs the 2 following weeks. Like that could easily put me in a hole that I can't get out of. So I really need to win this week, and I feel like Ethan's team starting 2-0 with the lack of team that we kind of feel that he has is it's gonna be huge for him. Who do you got?
I had you winning.
Really?
I also have
Yeah.
My guy. I have me winning
Yes,
as
sir.
well. Thank you, boys. Actually, can
Of
we all
course.
say Ethan? So get some good reverse psychology going.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
Alright,
keep
who we got
moving.
next?
Next we got our other top dog and Ian's team against possibly the worst team in Chatham Village history,
Yeah,
and
we
Dan's
are-
team.
I think we have a consensus on
Yeah,
this
this projection is 143 to 124, and we know what's
Yeah.
happening here.
one. Yeah.
We all got Ian's team.
Oh, yeah. Got Ian's team as
So
well.
right now we're all the same. I don't like being the same on matchups,
Hey, man.
because right now
I
I'm
think
wearing the dress. Jonathan maybe too.
I might be.
Who? Kurt's
I'm
team
going
won.
through So far, Kurt's team won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're 3-2.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me beat at least. Damn it. All right. So yeah. So next matchup here we've got another big matchup. We got Sean's
Yep.
team against Kurt's dad's team.
I got my dad in this one.
You got your dad. I have your dad as well. Fuck. I hate having the same.
Uh-oh.
So
I
that-
have Sean.
You have Sean. All right. Jonathan's finally taking a different route here and taking Sean.
Alright.
And that projection
Okay.
is 136 to 133. And
So it's gonna
then
be a tight
follow
one
it
there.
up with our last matchup with your team, Kurt, against Jonathan's dad's team. That projection is 141 to 129 in your favor. Who do you got?
I got myself.
Obviously, you got yourself. I'm taking you as well. So we got the same exact. I might have to change up here one of these and take a chance.
Nah, dude, follow your heart.
Yeah, I got to. Because I feel like other than, I mean, two of the matchups are very lopsided, which they will be every week probably with those two teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, who do you have, Jonathan?
I have Kurt.
You got Kurt? Okay.
Thank you, sir. A clean sweep.
Yeah.
All right, boys. There's our matchup. And then matchup of the week, who do you guys think? I mean, I'm taking my matchup, Kurt.
Yeah, I would say you guys because the implications for you.
Yeah, the implications. We also probably talked the most shit back and forth in the draft chat.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man.
What else? Oh, and then Ian also texted me and Ethan about the new Warzone map coming out, and he said, Ethan, you'll be able to play that a lot because your fantasy season will be over by then. And then Ian responded, hey, talk to the only guy in this chat that's 0-1. So he just continued it, you know.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
Jonathan, who you got for matchup of the week? You got the same thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you.
All right, so matchup of the week is going to be Blake's revenge toward back-to-back matchups of the week. I'm just always at the helm of the matchup of the week. It might be next week as well because I think I play my dad.
Yeah.
And if we both put up huge points this week and then the father-son matchup, I might take the triple crown for the beginning of the year matchups of the week. But there we go. We have it. I mean, longer episode than we expected, but hey, we always do that. We love to talk, I guess. I talk too much. Shut the fuck up sometimes, Blake. Huh?
Hey, this is episode 8. We're still going through, brother.
Yep.
That's another point of us being here is to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
All right, Kurt, you want to break it down? Say your goodbyes.
Close it out. So yeah, this is episode 8. Yeah.
Yep, episode 8.
We're officially past week 1. We're rolling. We're in the football season. We will be back in the penthouse next week.
Yeah.
For another episode from the boys. So be on the lookout for that. I'm excited. We're just rolling. Go follow us on everything.
All right. Is that your send off?
Yeah, that was it.
All right. So episode 8. I mean, 8 episodes deep. I'm starting to feel like this is getting easy for us to do.
Hey, man.
I do want to say I hope your COVID experience goes fine. I know it is so far. Yes. I hope it finishes fine as well.
Boys, missed you guys.
Yeah, I missed you. I'm gonna miss doing our little high five to end the episode and all that. But we'll be back at it next week, live in the real studio. I hope everybody enjoys watching the games tonight.
Yes, sir, and good luck. Week 2.
Wait, who do you have? I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You got Chiefs? Who you got? Chiefs all around here. So.
Yeah.
As always, if you made it this far, you're day one. You're a real one. We appreciate that so much. We love you.
Hell yeah.
I mean, last week's episode was probably the first episode where we hit like a wall as far as like, getting a good amount of views and stuff. But I feel like that's YouTube testing us to see if we're gonna keep it rolling. And guess what, YouTube? It ain't stopping. No. So put us back in the algorithm, baby.
It's not stopping, baby.
Put us back in the algo.
COVID can't even stop it.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope everybody enjoys football this weekend. Football is back, baby. We're rolling. Thank you once again for tuning in, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Kurt, pound it on the screen.